Welcome to the PantoRouter channel and thanks for clicking in. We've been asked hundreds of times for a rotating or swiveling clamp, and it seems pretty simple, but there are some major challenges that have kept us from using them for the past several years. We show you our solution later in this video, and we'll show you our new universal clamp base with either pneumatic or lever clamp arms. We'll also show numerous ways you can use these clamps in various combinations. Both pneumatic and lever arm clamps use the same universal base, which is lost wax cast in a single piece with no seams or fasteners. This makes them incredibly rigid and corrosion protected. With either pneumatic or lever clamp arm installed, just slide the T-track nut into one of the slots in the PantoRouter table and put it anywhere you want on the table. We love the big table with the 10 full width slots, but without some stiffening, the table and your workpiece can move when torque is applied if it's not directly in line with those slots. To solve this problem, we made some stiffening bars that we mount to the bottom of the table where they're out of the way and they won't affect any PantoRouter operation. To install the bars, loosen the 4 screws holding the table to the protractor, then mark the front of the table and flip the table over. Align the T-track nuts with the slots and slide both bars on without tightening them. The bars should be closer to the back of the table than the front by 1 slot. This makes them highly unlikely to be hit with your router bit. Locate each bar 4.5 inches from the side and align them perpendicular to the slots, then tighten all of the screws. Next, you'll flip the table back over and replace the 4 table mounting screws and you're done. Whether you're using the air or pneumatic clamps or the lever clamps, the first step is always to secure the universal clamp base to the table using the knob on the top of the shaft. You'll notice on the lever clamps there's a notch near the top. This is a resting place for the clamp arm. These clamps are insanely rigid, so they only require 1 or sometimes 2 clicks to hold your workpiece. We like to drop the lever arm down to the workpiece with the lever up, then loosen by 1 notch and pull it tight. You'll also notice that these new clamps have a significantly longer reach than our old ones. The pneumatic or air clamps come with 2 air fittings, the lever knob, the clamping foot, and the stainless steel arm in 1 box, and the air cylinder packed separately. If you're using only 1 air clamp, thread the straight fitting into the cylinder, and if you're using 2, thread the T fitting into the second one. These air fittings come with thread tape and they seal with only modest tightening. The hex fitting is 12 millimeters, but a 1/2 inch wrench will actually work since they really don't need to be very tight. Thread the cylinder into the arm with hand pressure, then thread the lever knob into the end of the arm. Next, slide the arm onto the universal clamp base and use the lever knob to position the arm on the clamp shaft. The T-fitting can swivel, so position it wherever it works best. Mount the air control switch to the mounting angle with the 2 screws and nuts. Then install the hold-down screw with the nylon washer and the special drop-in style T-track nut loosely on the screw. The small mounting nuts use the 8 millimeter wrench that came with your PantoRouter, or a 5/16 inch wrench will work. This is the special drop-in style T-track nut. It doesn't need to be slid in from the edge of the table. Just drop it into any slot and give it a twist to tighten. We like the air control switch on the back edge of the table, but you could screw it to your bench or wherever you like. Since we're not panel mounting the switch, you can remove and toss the panel mounting nuts and tooth washer. Cut two pieces of tubing about 17 inches each. One goes from the control switch to the cylinder with the T, and the second goes from the top of the T to the second cylinder. A nice arc works best. The air tube retention rings are spring-loaded. Just push the tube into the fitting to securely install the tube, and push on the ring to release the tube. The air tube is 6 mm outside diameter, but many suppliers call this 1/4 inch tube, and it's readily available online with or without the fittings. Position the air cylinder clamping pads about 1/2 inch to 1 inch above your workpiece. Generally closer is better. You just need enough room to easily change your workpiece when the cylinder is retracted. The adjuster valve on the air control switch controls the rate that the cylinders move up and down, but not the clamping pressure. Once the cylinder makes contact with the workpiece, the pressure is the same regardless of how fast it traveled. Find a setting you like and tighten the set screw. The centering scale fence with the cutout allows the air or lever clamp using the universal clamp base to reach over the fence at the front of the table. It works for all applications, so there's no need to change it back to the standard rectangular fence when you're not using these clamps. To change the fence, just unscrew the 2 screws, then press the tapered collars out on a piece of wood or your bench. Reinstall through the cutout fence and you're good to go. And now the fun stuff. The first demonstration is dual air clamps cutting tenons lightning fast. We're using the swing stop to position the depth of cut. We can't wait to do another project with dozens of tenons to really put these clamps through their paces. Next, we're going to demonstrate lever clamps, so we'll change these over. Mortising is another place the pivoting clamps really shine. You no longer need the clamping bridges, and in this case we're using one of our standard T-track lever clamps in the front slot and a universal clamp for the side. Where we can't get to the end of the workpiece with a clamp, we use two from the side. And of course, dual air clamps are even faster. It's taken us a long time, but we couldn't be happier with these new clamps. They're seriously heavy duty and all cast and machined stainless steel. They really should last for generations. Happy PantoRouting!